I'm Justin. I'm a photographer, videographer, and I love shooting film. I love really meeting new people and creating with a whole bunch of other creatives. That's my favorite thing to do. Why I wanted to be a part of MUSES TAKEOVER in Tulum is I really enjoy Alice's whole thing. I've been to MUSES a few times. I've shot with most of the models here and I just love the community. So far, the most unforgettable moment of the event was the first beach, I would say, because got to know each other, had dinner, we weren't shooting at all, and then we went to our first location, bonded a bunch together after that because we not only started to talk to each other and know each other, but we started being cohesive and going off in our own different groups, but then we all came back together for that beach in the sunset, and it was just even more coordinated than before. Everybody was talking to each other, communicating well, and I love sunsets, especially on a gorgeous beach. So I've been to a lot of events, but it's usually not as cohesive as this is. I can ask anybody here what gear they're using, or what settings are theirs, or if I wanted to shoot with the model that they're currently shooting with, or all of those things are just open to me. And it's really nice to just be able to be just creatively open with everybody around, because we're all trying to get each other to be creative in our own creative way. I've never been to Mexico before, but being able to get outside of my comfort zone, which right now is freezing cold, 10 degrees. I always shoot in studio this time of year because it's the only time I can really shoot, and getting out here in the heat really gets me outside of that same studio mindset of setting up lights and jazz, which I still like doing studio shoots, but it's not like this in nature. Getting into an environment that I don't know, but I'm still comfortable and trusting the people that I'm with is very, very helpful. Shooting at the cenotes with KJ was a really good memory of mine because we just casually walked in to the fully wooded area, and then as soon as we saw the waterfall open up in the blue water, it was amazing, and we started shooting immediately. The beaches of Tulum are almost like a cheat code because the sand is so white that it's kind of like a bounce-ish. You don't get much of the very harsh shadows from the sun because the sand is so white that it just fills in whatever shadow is there just a bit. And honestly, the water was so blue as well that I don't have to tweak that in post or anything. I don't have to turn green into blue, which is what I have to do locally. Personally, I think the villa was the most challenging for me creatively because I don't usually shoot in an environment like that where it's all concrete. I can't really bounce a light off the walls or anything like that, but it was still very fun. My favorite dining experience during the event was the first one. On the first night, we went out to this very local Mexican restaurant, of course in Mexico, Mexican restaurant. But it was all red, and we got an appetizer of guacamole, and that was the best guacamole I had in my life. I kept going chip after chip, and I was like, this is different. This is very good. If I wanted to say one experience or memory from this event, that would be that there are too many. I honestly enjoyed every location that we went to. Makes me want to travel more. Something I'll take forward from this event is that just having the time to just have dinners and talk creatively with everybody has really amped up my game, not just with the models, but the photographers as well, where throwing ideas at each other, saying, oh, this concept worked for me. I maybe could have tweaked it this way. It's part of the learning process, which takes a very long time, but going to events like this speeds that process up because you meet so many people and you get to know so many people. April so I can gain enough PTO to go.